So tracking the skies for Lacey. This little focus here on this video is Luke. Now the very beginning of the book, we get an idea who Luke is when he is visiting his grandparents in Oklahoma with his dad, and a tornado appears. It is the fiercest, scariest tornado since the A-bomb blast over Nagasaki to Luke, okay? So he actually helps his dad. His dad's a Navy medic, and back from the war, and Luke helps him, which is pretty amazing to his dad and pretty amazing to his grandparents. That's how the first chapter starts. Then the second chapter does the backstory on Luke's dad, Matthew LaCrosse. And Luke is about 1 year old at the time. And so his dad, a lot of the emphasis is on what the dad did in the South Pacific, tending to all the wounded and dying. And one of the things that he did was he sang to those who were ill and helped them. And before you knew it, his commanders would have him singing to everybody. So Matt comes home and he actually finds out that he has a voice and he doesn't have to work in the nursery anymore, and he starts making money at local bars and nightclubs, and before you know it, he's successful. He's hired by a furniture store owner who wants more people to come to his store, and Matt does this. Before you know it, he's a manager, and then later he becomes a co-owner. He is so successful. Okay, so Luke is coming into the American dream. It's just a miracle. And Luke has gone well with his life. He sang with his dad and did well in school, did all the sports, but his whole life changed when Lacey came to town. It was just incredible. He was so struck by her when he first met her. He loved her name. She was a little bit aloof because she came from a wealthy family from California, the Bay Area, where her father owned department stores. So she was pretty aloof at first, and believe it or not, very good at soccer. So here they are on the soccer field, and he's getting tired of being pushed around by her. So he collides with her and then realizes this is a bad idea and grabs her before she falls. Now, for some reason, the magic started there, okay? She's 14, he's 15. And they started talking to each other and seeing each other, and she was pretty much aloof to everybody else, but for some reason, she was different with Luke. She was inquisitive and caring, and she did not want to talk about her wealthy family and her past. So she always asked Luke questions about himself, which is really pretty neat. And so Luke would tell her about himself, you know, his favorite person, his first kiss, what it was like to be in school, what it was like to live where he did because she just moved there. And so she learned a lot of things about him, but he did too. He learned about himself. And then Lacey got a better understanding of herself because she was upper class. She hardly ever associated with anyone else. But here she is in a nice, warm relationship with Luke. Now I'm going to stop here for a minute, and the next video will be on some of the wonderful qualities of Luke, which I believe came out from Lacey, from her care about her, from her care about him, and in his love for her. And so I'm going to tell you more about Luke and what a wonderful person he became because he knew Lacey.